Hey folks, Gary here. Happy Monday morning to you from Cole and myself. You can't see Cole, he's on the camera, but he is definitely there. Hope you're having a really good start to your week. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about prayer because prayer is really important. Prayer is our conversation we have with God, and we should be having that conversation all the time. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the Lord's Prayer and broke that down. Last week, we talked about significant prayers in the Bible that what we can learn from these prayers that we read about. And on Sunday, we talked about prayer as a communication and sitting down, just having a conversation with our Father in heaven. And what does that look like? And the fact that when we say our Father in heaven, that can really mess people up depending on your viewpoint of a father. If you didn't have a good father, it could really mess up understanding God as your father. And I share a little bit about my own life with that. So if you want to see that, that'll be posted a little bit later on. But prayer is really, really important. And so I want to move into, I want to continue on with significant prayers. And so today we're going to look at Psalm chapter 30. And we're only going to look at the first three verses. Read the whole thing, but for this video, we're only going to look at the first three verses. And here's what it says. It's a psalm from David. It's a song. It's a prayer of thanksgiving that he's praying. So Psalm 30, verses 1-3. I will exalt you, Lord, for you rescued me. You've refused to let my enemies triumph over me. Now, your enemies could be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean your neighbor or someone in your town or a rival at work or something like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. Matter of fact, I hope you don't have actual enemies. That'd be horrible. But it could be anything. It could be our health. It could be fears that we have, phobias that we have. It could be financial pressures. It could be anything. But David's praying that you're not going to let those things triumph over me. You'll make me an overcomer over those things, or you'll just get rid of those things, whatever it is. Either you heal it or you make me an overcomer of it, whatever it is. I know you won't let it triumph over me. So that's a good thing to remember. And then he continues on, oh Lord, my God. No, that's not like a modern saying, oh my God. It's not saying that. It's saying, oh Lord, my God, you are God. You're amazing, right? Oh Lord, my God, I cried to you for help and you restored my health. You took care of me. You restored my health, right? You brought me up from the grave, oh Lord. You kept me from falling into the pit of death. You restored my health. So this is a prayer of thanksgiving. And so he's thanking God for all the things God has done in his life. That's a good prayer. It's good to thank God for what he's done. It's good to thank our Father in heaven for what he's done for us. One, it's a heart of gratitude, which is really important that we have a heart of gratitude. God already knows he did it, but it's good to thank him for it. But it's also good because it reminds us of what God has done in the past. When I pray to God and I thank him for the things he's done in my past, one of the things I remember is my shoulder. I remember that being dislocated and being here. And I remember praying because I was worried about it going back, how much that would hurt. And I remember praying for God to just put it back. If he would do that, please. I said, would you heal me in your name? Amen. And as soon as I said amen, it went back into place. The doctor called it a spontaneous relocation, but I know what took place because as soon as I said amen, it went back. Like that's quite a coincidence, if it's a coincidence. But that happened. We were praying on Friday. We had a power blip here in Whitewood. When the power goes boom, like that kind of thing, and it's just a momentary thing, but something happened. Well, that happened here, and it fried my son's computer. I was so sad for him and for me. We just bought that thing like 3 months ago, and it was expensive. And so I'm thinking, oh dear, okay. And so I'm going to my mind what I can do about this. I did all the things you're supposed to do, Googled it, all that kind of stuff. Nothing worked. It was dead. And so I'm coming up with a plan. Okay, I'll replace the power supply. I'll do this. I'll do that. But I also prayed about, Lord, would you just fix this for them? That would be so good. Because I felt so bad for him. It's so important to him. Well, we had another power blip. It was about 3 hours later, like another boom, like a pretty, I'm like, oh, great. What else is wrecked? And my son comes out of his room like 5 minutes after that and says, Dad, my computer is fixed. It fixed my computer. Now, have you ever heard of a power surge fixing a computer? I haven't. But what I do know is that we prayed and God answered. Those are great things to remember. Those are great things to be thankful to God for, but are great things to remember as well. I say, man, if you did that, what else can you do? If you can relocate my shoulder, what else can you do? And I trust God because of what he's done in the past. He has proven himself to me. And if he doesn't relocate it, if he doesn't fix the computer, I know he will give us the ability to overcome it as well. As David said, you refuse to let my enemies triumph over me. Either you heal it or you give me what I need to overcome it. But it reminds me of that. And that's what a thankful heart is. A thankful heart is saying, you have been so, so good to me. I thank you for that. I have a confidence. I can rest in your hands, knowing that you will care for me in the future because you've done it in the past and you're good, good God. So go about your Monday and don't let the world get you down. Pray, constantly pray. Thank him for what he's done and look forward to how he's going to take care of you in the future. So have a great Monday.